there is a reason why I would rather sit alone, literally anywhere, just in this room or just going outside where, there's nobody. Because, bro, like, modern people, they're so draining, man. I could, predict that what's gonna happen when I enter at a table, full of people. Most of the conversations would be extremely superficial. They're gonna ask you, "Oh, what's the plan for weekend? Oh, have you heard about this drama?" Like, man, like they don't talk about anything deep at all. It is not that like they're not capable of it. It's just that they just don't want to and they have no interest in it. They just want to, be in the mainstream, whatever that people talk about or people usually talk about, then they would go for it. Like, literally, I have a friend in my university, right? And it is really good that when you have someone to talk to, literally anything. Last time, like, I talk about our existence, with her in like a larger scale. I told her that, you know, to us, right? Bacterias, they are so, small that we can't even see it with our eyes. And, it also, doesn't know about our existence because like our sizes are very different, so we can't travel to each other and just like try to communicate because like we're so huge and we can't see them, and they also don't possess intelligence or consciousness that they can communicate with us. So just the same way, like we might actually be just like a little tiny dust or molecule, within this large universe. Like maybe universe just like a tiny dust, within something bigger, and there might be some, bigger beings that they the reason why they can't communicate excuse me, the reason why they can't communicate with us is because that we're too small for them, and they just can't travel here, and they might not even know about our existence. Like I talk this about like this stuff, and I don't care at all whether she understand it or not, but she genuinely tries to understand it. Like, bro, it is so fascinating when you have like, some people to talk about deep stuff, just literally anything rather than just like, what's going on social media, there are some new features on Instagram or like some dramas, like, bro, it is so boring. That's why like every time I swear to you, you know, when I sit at a table, right, and there would be like someone that I have had a conversation with at least 3 times, and I could tell what are they gonna say next. Like, bro, they're gonna just talk about, how horrible her boyfriend is, and but she still like gets back to him and stuff. Like, bro, like I just really like can't stand it, and I often complain about it that like, bro, I really just like don't like it. That's why I would rather, do anything, literally anything. I would rather just go outside and just, sit still and just look in front of me, whatever that is, rather than just like listening to those superficial questions. Like, it could be just anything, that deep that we can just like discard or, analyze what is actually underneath that reason. Like, I know someone, who doesn't like studying, like doesn't like learning, okay? And so I asked him like, why didn't you like it? I mean, like you got potential if like you were to study, maybe like you could have gotten way better. And then he went like, I mean, when I was a kid, my parents they always forced me to study, including during the weekends. Had to like went to a tutor's house and just, you know, studied for the whole days. And then when I got home, I still had to do homeworks, and they only allowed me to, playing video games for an hour, and then I just slept with them. And I could not, have a phone alone because I I I was always monitored, and that's why like this is what he told me, and I completely get him why now, he doesn't like learning, generally, because like it is his trauma, and it is something that people need to overcome when you look at it. Otherwise, he would continue, hating learning or studying forever. So it is interesting, like when you talk with people, you know, you want to know what they believe, what is their ideology, and what, shaped them to become who they are. It is quite fascinating, each individual, they have different journey, and just I just love it, man. Even though it might not be perfect, or even if they haven't been through so many things, but we could see another perspective in life why they are like that. Just why, just like it was just really good, but nowadays, bro, people wouldn't want to talk about any of these. I promise you. They would think that you are freaking weird, and they would think that like, what is this creep talking about? Like, what is that? Like, it's not that they don't understand what you're saying. It is that they hold some sort of like judgment, towards you, because they are not type of people who would usually do that. You love, talking about serious and deep topics. It can be anything, maybe about philosophy. I love it too. I myself love it too. Like, I remember after learning philosophy for like a month, I could literally like name like, I think, almost 20 philosophers. Like I was asked, okay, if you actually learned about philosophy, named at least five names, and then I literally named almost 20, bro. Like I was into it, you can see, but people just wouldn't like it. It's just not something that they would prefer, because it kind of mirrors something in them, that they are shallow people. They don't like to reflect on anything. And when you show your intellect, or you're curious about things that maybe you don't know, but you just want to see and just try to understand, but they just different from you, and what they think, just like, why would even bother, like, this is too deep, and it doesn't matter, because in my life I would rather be distracted, going outside, going to clubs, you know having a boyfriend, girlfriend, rather than talking about these deep things. That is like their mentality nowadays, and it is so fucked up. I have seen so many people, like, I think we all have seen it, this be for real, that people have been indoctrinated and brainwashed by social media, whatever that they have, like in their mind in the first place. And then when the algorithm shows something that supports, you know, their belief, then that belief would be amplified. So it would get stronger and stronger over time, because they consume it every single day. And that screen time is like 6 to 10 hours, maybe even more. I'm just, talking about it like generally. So definitely it is a huge part of their life. Nowadays people just don't care about like going out and just trying to understand themselves anymore. They just want to be distracted and they just want to see what is, inside the social media world, man. And since I've been off of social media, I feel good, man. Like I don't feel depressed, because I don't compare myself to anyone. And literally, you can see like in my channel, I think in the last couple of videos, I got like 5 views or even less. I literally feel nothing. You know why? Because I no longer seek for validation or attention. I merely did it for myself. And I just wanted to share something to my audience. That's it. I don't care, even if people gonna hate me for it because they have different opinions and that is up to them. It just it is like you regain your true self back, I would say, when you're just off of social media, and it is good, man. Even though in this in your life you may not have like anyone to talk about these deep things, if you don't have anyone, then I recommend you to just like be alone. Maybe you can just like try to share your opinion or your belief on social media just like this. Like literally, bro, like if I can do it, you can do it too. I got 5 viewers. I don't care. At least I share something and I put my effort into work. I say what I actually believe. I'm not trying to be performative or trying to, say something mainstream just so that people would just watch my content. Like, I don't want to do that because I don't want to destroy who I am. So, at least I would say that try to protect your identity. Don't let the society and modern people dominate your identity, because like when you enter a conversation with your peers, your friends, in a big group like 3 4 5 people, they will talk about something shallow. Of course, like I understand you. I literally myself feel irritated every single time. Like I would be sitting in silence, like, oh my gosh, bro, like please, 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 like, can you guys just like end it now? Like that was literally like something in my mind. They often like complain, about like how horrible their friends are, how horrible and rude the teachers are. Like, oh my gosh, like I just wish that they talk about something real. Like at least like even though I myself I no longer um associated with anything political anymore, but at least if if they're interested in politics, at least I would see, their opinions whatsoever, and maybe like we can have a civil discourse about it, rather than just like asking me like, oh, do you know that restaurant is really good? You should go there. Like, yeah, I mean it's good, but like, you know, I've heard it a billion times. Like, come on. It's just like how our world is, nowadays. And it's just hard to find people who would have like, who would prefer deep conversations rather than just something superficial. Like, they would ask you like, oh, you like this movie? And then you said, yeah. And they're just gonna move on like, oh, do you like this food? And then you would say, yeah. They're just gonna move on to the next thing that's shallow. Like, or something this it doesn't expand your knowledge, and it might even amplify your negative thoughts, and emotions. It is full of hatred. Like that's why I just don't like it when people often talk about drama or they gossip, even though like definitely I swear to you, people who gossip about someone, it is very likely that they would gossip about you too. If you're not very close or know them for a very long time, like 4 or 5 years, and then I think there is a high chance that, you know, in their conversations without you, you would be the main topic. Like literally, you can tell that. That's why I just don't want to like associate myself with anything negative. It is not that I can't stand it. I literally can't. I would dismiss whatever that they say about me, except it is, for improvement, and then I would take it. But if it's like something bullshit or trying to diss me because they don't have balls themselves, then I'm just gonna like, yeah, whatever, bro. Like, I'm not even gonna be mad, bro. They're just miserable people. I literally don't care. But would you rather sit somewhere alone with your own thought, nobody influences you anything, or being in a conversation with these negative people who always badmouth others and gossip? Your choice. Like objectively, if people who possess enough brain cells, they would choose the first choice, right? That's what I'm doing. Like, it's not that I can't stand with them, like I can, but like, why would I choose, the worst one? Like, come on, like this is something simple. So it's just like that, man. People just don't want to talk about something deep anymore. They just want to talk about something mainstream. Now it is like the World Cup, right? People would just watch it. I have seen so many people like that they don't even watch football and they just want to be part of it. If their country's team wins, they would be like, yes, we win. And if their country's team lost, they're gonna say that like, this team suck. They're not gonna include themselves anymore because they only want to be part of victory, not part of failure. This is how people are. Like, they just want to take an easy path because, because they don't even have like skin in the game. They just a watcher, a spectator. Like, they just watch it from distance. They can't even do it themselves. And what they do is that criticizing them in just that's it. Like, bro, you don't even know like how to play it. You're not even in the game. Just like shut up. You get what I mean? And people would just be talking about this. I think it would be like for a while, the football World Cup whatsoever. They're gonna be asking you like, oh, what is the team that you're cheering for whatsoever? Like, come on. I just literally don't care. I would still live my life the same way every single day. I don't care about weekends, weekdays. To me, every single day is the same. When people celebrate, I work. When people just hang out, I work. And that is my mentality. Like, I don't perceive, you know, like how, let me put it this way. Like, people often value social meanings, but I just don't care about it. What I care is how can I get better? And I would do whatever it takes to get there, even if it means that I have to go alone. It's just like that, man. And it's just life, okay? I think this is pretty much overall. It is a bit of, maybe not a bit digression, but I hope you enjoyed this video, okay? And I really like want to give you guys something and just want to share like my opinion that, you know, it is quite irritating, being in a conversation with people who only talk about the weather, the movie, drama, like how's your weekend, like bro, come on, like I've heard so many times it is like you are living in the loop, over and over again. So, you know, you are no different from a robot at that point. Like you were programmed to listen to these things for the rest of your life. Like that's why I just don't find joy in it. I would rather just sit with myself alone. It's just like that. Yeah. And thanks a lot for watching, man. And I hope that you have the best day ever. And if you like my content, you can comment down below or you can subscribe me. See you in the next one. Peace.